Good morning, my friends. How are you all today? How was your weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. So we're going to crack on into the Deal It Up challenge for this week. These are my 4 cards in the current series to date. So we're up to card number 5 out of the total 6 for this series. And if you're new here, the series we're working on is children. That's the theme. Right, pop those somewhere aside. Let's pull the prompts for this week. So did you get up to anything exciting for the weekend? What did we do? Oh, we had an outing on Saturday. Kind of a work do for hubby's work. But it's too complicated. I'm just going to leave it as that, even though technically that's not what it was. But it was a barbecue, so we went into the city and had a nice time for the evening. And had a later night than what I'm used to. So I think I'm still recovering. It wasn't super late, but it was, just later than what we're typically used to. So, yeah. It's funny, isn't it? It was only an hour and a half later to bed than normal, but it hit me with a wallop. Okay, so first card today is grungy. Cool, we get to grunge things up today. This is of course, our theme for this set of faux collector's cards. Now, if you're not sure what a faux collector's card is, think of the collector's cards, whether it's a baseball card or an anime program card or Pokemon card or, anything like that, or your favourite sports team. Look, there's so many out there, I don't even know them all. It's that type of thing, but we're making our own ones. So our first series was birds, and this second series is children. And who knows what the third series will be. That we will be pulling next week after we've done our project for next week. So it's card number 6 next week. Say my words properly. Scrapbook paper. Okay, so that's our prompts for the children card. Now this is the alternate make here that I'm going to pull next. Whoops, how about shuffling them rather than just swapping order. Alright. Have you ever tried to shuffle a small amount of cards? It's actually quite hard. Okay, this one is going to be today paper bag. So, oh, do I have one? So you can make a paper bag from scratch, or you can take an existing paper bag and turn it into something, decorate it up, whatever you want to do. So lots of options with paper bag. Right, and this prompt here I'm going to pull is specifically for this alternate make here, but if you want to and if it works, you can include it on your children card. Totally up to you. Right, let's see what the other prompt is going to be. Let's go right near the bottom. And it is exercise. Okay, so some sort of image or something that is a form of exercise or related to exercise. Interesting one, that one. That's a bit out of left field, isn't it? Okay, I do not have my card base out. Whoops. Let's quickly grab that. This is my little tub that I keep all of my cards in. And I also keep my cards for the series. Both the ones in waiting and the ones I've already done live in there. Okay, so first off, I noticed I have not fully prepped the back by inking it. So just give me a few seconds to take care of that. And these collector cards, you can keep them just as a fun series of little art cards that you've made. You can include them in journals, you can give them away to friends like an artist trading card. You can swap them with others as an artist trading card. So whatever you like. They do not have to use playing cards as your base. I am using playing cards. You could make them whatever size you like. You do not have to stick to this. So do whatever, you know, whichever way you want to go. I've pre-chosen an image, which is quite a large one, so I'm going to have to probably cut off his feet. And that's okay. It's from a different book, same series of books, but a different storybook to the one I've been using. And I'm going to have to lose this picture, which is a shame, but I want to use this one. Okay, so let's get into our base. Scrapbook paper. I don't know if I can quickly grab scraps. Let me have a wee look, see if I can find. Oh, there we go. It's not very grungy. Here's another bit. That's all been folded, or some of it has been folded. What else can I find quickly? Very random here, very random selection. There's also this, but I'm not sure I want to go candy canes, so we'll put that back. Well, this one, if I can pull it out. That one. I don't know how many I want. No, that's not scrapbook paper. There's a bit of that, bit of that. Okay, we'll work with that. Oops, come on, get in there. My bag of scraps doesn't want to go back into its posse. Okay, I kind of would like to preserve the teapots for something else, so I'm not. This I think would work with grungy. I think we could possibly work with this one. I was going to use the nice clean side. This one's got the folds and creases and stuff, but we're going grungy, so why would you not use the creased side? I'm just going to tear off the clean bit, and we'll pop that back, because we might as well use the damaged bits for grungy. And do we want the red? Yep, I think that's working for me, so I'll pop these other bits away. Okay. So this, it's got a few creases, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to add more creases, because why not? Let's embrace the grunge. Oops, I forgot to put the teapot page away, so just did that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my vintage photo and dirty it up somewhat. Make sure I catch those creases and really make them dirty. And it's quite a light bit of paper, so I felt like it needed a little help in the grunge department. Okay, and I'm going to grab ground espresso, I think. Which one is it in my stack? Oh, it's none of those, I should say. Here we go, ground espresso. And I'm just going to take the pad itself and, whoops, try and hit those creases mainly. I'm not entirely succeeding. I'm getting other areas, but that's all right. It's about the grunge, isn't it? Embrace the mess. Yep, that'll do. It's quite dark, so we don't want to get too carried away. Now, if you wanted, you could also spray it with water to move some of that ink around if you're using Distress ink. I'm not going to, though. I'm just going to leave it like that. Right, do I want that down first, or... Of course, it's not all going to fit on there. That's fine. maybe I want to go something like that actually, across the corner. And then maybe just this. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to glue this piece down first. But I am going to just trim it down a little bit. Oops. Ah, it's been stamped on the back. It's been used as a drop paper. Or a stamp off sheet, I should say. Same difference, I guess. Basically. Okay, let's trying to line up the edges as much as I can. Okay, that's there. Now I want to put this kind of across the corner. What's the best way to do that? I think maybe we'll trim it out. It is going to grow as I flatten it out. We're going to lose some of the texture. Although maybe I'll use tacky glue. We won't lose quite so much texture if I use tacky glue rather than glue stick. Might be the way to go actually. So retain some of that texture. But before I do that, I want to put this piece on here. So I'm just going to trim off that as well. And I'm going to dirty up that edge, that white edge. We had a lovely weekend weather-wise. It was really warm, and yesterday was, I think Saturday was 20, what was it, 28, I think, 28 degrees Celsius, and yesterday was 29, and today is going to be another warm day, and it started off warm. It was a warm night. So I had the curtains open in the bedroom first thing this morning because it faces the sunrise, and then as the sun came up I closed the curtains so it would keep the interior cool, and I shut the window because the hot air will just come in the windows. And we're definitely, these last few hot days excuse me, we have really noticed the benefit of the insulation, that inside hasn't got really hot and stuffy. You know, it's warmed up, but it hasn't got to that unbearable level. We haven't needed to put the fan on. It's just been quite pleasant, which is really lovely. So really looking forward to seeing the difference in winter of not getting that super cold, you know, and when we light the fire, that the heat stays in better. So all good, very good. All right, just trim out, whoops, flying across my desk there. Trim off the overhang around the corners. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of that texture, of the actual texture in there, but it is flattened out compared to what it was, which is fine. So I'm going to ink around the edges here. Doesn't show up a lot on some of the papers, but we'll be doing the gold on top that I do on all my cards. So with a collector's card, picture a collector's card. If you've seen them or have them, there's usually some unifying feature between all of the cards to signify that they are a collection. So that's what we're going for here. So it's up to you what you choose, but you choose 1, 2, 3, whatever elements you like that will combine them to look in as part of a series. So if I grab back my cards here, I use a gold border. They've all got a gold border, and then I've got the stamping of the words, which is I used a by accident used the wrong stamp on that card, but using the stamped paper there. And then I've chosen to use a solid. I didn't do it on this one. Oh my gosh, were you yelling at me, my friends? Were you telling me you forgot your paper? Oh, how annoying. A solid paper colour of different colour in background of each. So I'm still going to do it. I'm just going to do it on top. Like, we haven't completely messed up. Well, I haven't completely messed up yet. So let's grab a paper colour. And I just need to double check. So we've used orange, green, red and purple. Maybe we'll, oh no, we've used red. Yellow kind of doesn't say grungy, does it? But I think I'm going to go yellow, because it's yellow or blue. I'm going to go yellow. So I'm just going to tear a bit and tear off that, and then tear down this. Very random. I'm just, and need it shorter than that, and I just want to kind of like put a section in the middle. Very random. Oh, could be a sunshine. Like completely random. Okay, we're going to distress it up a little bit. We're going to, because we want to make it grungy, and it's, you know, quite a bright colour. It's a bright, happy colour. It's not a grungy colour, but we're going to make it grungy. So I'm going to crease it. I'm going to, and some of these details that I'm adding may not show in the end result once we've added our picture, but that's all right. We'll know that we did it. We'll know that it's got grungy, and if it does show, well, then it's all good. So before I stick it on, maybe I need to work out where my picture is, because I don't want to cover the whole thing. Right. So let's start at the top, since we're going to be cutting off part of his feet and probably part of the side of this little booth. And I chose this image because it very much reminds me of my brother. Back when we were kids, my brother is 4.5 years older than me, the next one in line, and then my oldest brother is 6 years older than me. And so the one that's 4.5, the middle child, shall we say, he was very much a bit of an entrepreneur. He wanted to retire by the time he was 30. Did not happen, but there you go. You know, he was a bit of a dreamer as well, I guess. And back when we were kids, he had some toys that he didn't want anymore, and so he set up a fair. You know, a fair. There was a chocolate wheel, there were games to play, things to toss, and he used his toys as prizes. And then me, being the young sister, I had to pay to play each game. So I had to give him money. I didn't have much money, but it was like 1 cent, 2 cents, 5 cents, depending on the... Yeah, and then I would win his toys. He was so this boy reminds me of my brother, and that, yeah, very much. It just, right, reminds me of my brother. I think I'm going to trim around. So we're going to lose part of his leg as well, and a teddy bear by the look of it. Can't be helped. Well, I could use a different image, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use this one. It is quite large, so we are going to lose a lot of our background. Is there anything worth salvaging? Oh, wee teddy bear. This one, no, that's his feet. This one, I like the colour, so I might use that for some collage. Include it in a collage somewhere. Yep, so that's going to go in there somewhere. So let's give it some dirty treatment. Oops, not much ink on my brush. take away some of that brightness. I want to really hit these tiers. I'll probably go in with the ground espresso as well, just to really darken them up. But do it, I find it better to do it in layers. So like you haven't got suddenly the harsh dark colour, that you've got some softer tones that kind of blend it in. Right, that, and then again just the ground espresso. I'm just going to go in with the ink pad rather than grab a brush out. And I'm not going to do all the way around, I'm just going to kind of like hit spots. And then kind of dab it to get a few little bits on top. And I think I might, these little tears that I've done, I might leave them kind of popping up, not completely glued down. For now anyway. I can always, if they annoy me or I look like they're going to be a problem, I can glue them down later. So I'm going to pop that about there. I like those little folds and imperfections, and I'm going to push that crease up a little bit to actually get that crease there, which is easier to do because I've created slits, so you can get more movement in your paper to get that texture. Okay, I might just hit that little crease with a bit of ink there. Okay, so it's definitely not like vivid, bright, in-your-face yellow anymore, is it? Now, because I've got lumps and bumps from this paper and this, I'm going to tacky glue this on. Do I want to perhaps give it a bit, since we're going grungy, give it a bit of an edge as well. Yeah, so the only thing I can remember from that day when he set up the fair, talking about my brother and the chocolate wheel, is I won on the chocolate wheel one of his toys, and it was a bendy plastic figure. I don't even know what they were called, and it was, I believe, a character out of Robin Hood, the Disney version, the animated Disney version. And so like it was plastic, but you could bend it, and you know, it had joints and they would click and bend it all sorts of weird and fantastic ways, and it was such fun. I think he actually ended up with it back. I think, yeah, I do believe that he ended up getting the toy back, not, you know, just somehow seemed to navigate back towards his room after a while. So I don't know whether I did that or whether he took it back or whether Mum found it and put it to his room. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, it was really fun, and you know, he was making money off me, but it was a lot of fun. Okay, so now to do this, I haven't put exercise in. I'm not going to. I haven't got a lot of room on this card because of the larger image, but I'm going to do my words. And I really wanted entrepreneur on there, but it's not going to fit. So we're not going there. We are going to do, I've chosen to put junior trader, because, you know, I was looking up synonyms and I was like, what can I put there that's going to make sense? So we're going with junior trader, not too long. Stamps, where have I put my stamps? Ah, there we go. Right, use the right ones today. It's always preferable. Actually, I'll put that over there. Right, bear with me while I stamp out our words. And I'm just putting them to the side, and I will clean them up after the video. this is a cheap stamp set that I picked up. I guess it's what Americans call a dollar store, our equivalent here in New Zealand. They used to be called $2 shops, but no, spell it right there. Got ink on my fingers now. I need the I first, don't I? You very rarely find anything for $2 now, so they don't call them that anymore. There's one I do know of that is, and it's in Rangiora. It's not called a $2 shop, but everything is $2, so most things aren't priced, apart from craft stuff. Wouldn't you know it? Craft stuff is priced, and a lot of it is, I mean, I wouldn't say expensive, but you know, $8, $10, $20, depending what it is. If it's a packet of markers, you know, for example, of alcohol markers, it might be 20 to 30. That's the only one I know of that kind of still has that $2-esque kind of thing going on. Most of them have departed completely from it and don't even mention it, and you don't expect to pick up, you know, you can still pick up the odd thing for that sort of price. Of course you can, but by and large it's just like whatever they've priced it as is what it is. So interesting. So that was a very long story, wasn't it? Just to try and explain the type of shop that I bought these stamps from. There was such a long story for a very small point. Okay, 2 more letters to go, my friends. We're almost there. And back to the R. And my fingers are getting so inky with handling the dirty stamps. Oh well, it is part of crafter's life. Might just grab my wet wipe, which I know, absolutely know, is not going to be wet. But I might be able to wipe something off anyway. Wipe off the worst of it. Because I might grunge up my card with ink transfer. Oh my gosh. On that note, a wee sip of coffee. Okay, right, didn't cut that straight, so I'm just going to straighten up that edge. Not that it matters because we're going grungy, but I just had to. It was making me. It's not my fault, I just had to straighten it up. Now, it has got a torn edge on this end, and I think I'm going to have torn edges. None of the others have torn edges, but this is grungy style, so we're going to go with the torn ends. Why am I worried about smudging the text? My goodness, it's grungy. Smudges are probably ideal. Right, I probably will end up with smudges because I know it's not dry yet. This paper's got a slight sort of silky surface, and the ink takes a while to dry. And I don't have a black StazOn, which I think would be the thing to use if I didn't want smudges. I think StazOn would be ideal. One day I will get a black StazOn. It's not high on my priority list at the moment. High on my priority list is paying off the laptop, which is going well. Both the laptop is going well, but the paying off of the laptop is going well also. Thanks to my wonderful hubby, who every payday is throwing money at the bill, and it's less than a third left to pay, which is brilliant. Considering I've only had it, what, maximum of 6 weeks. It's not that long. Right. Now that I've done that, I hope they're not too long and that I've got to trim them down a bit. Junior Trader, I think just like that will be perfect. And then we'll do our gold around the edge. And I'll check the time before I consider moving on to the paper bag, because I'm not sure if I've got an existing paper. Oh, actually I do have. I know what I can use. I was thinking about making one, but that will take extra time. So I've got the wee paper like lolly bags. I could, and as long as they're still where I think they are, I should be able to grab one very quickly behind me and do something with it. Yep, getting a bit of ink transfer, smudging, and embracing the smudge. Embracing a transfer. Not so much on my fingers though. Don't like grubby fingers. Right, okay, gold, here we come. So give it a wee shake. My Liquitex ink in iridescent bright gold, which is just so yummy. Absolutely delicious. It's not I forgot to ink around the edges, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's mostly covered by the gold anyway, so we'll just pretend that we did and call it good. That it was just, I did, and it was covered by the gold. So oh gosh, it's really getting low. There's a lot less in this bottle than what I thought there was. There's probably only a quarter of a bottle left. I didn't think I'd used it that much. I've had it for years though, so maybe it's actually just getting a bit thicker maybe. It doesn't seem to be really thick, but maybe it's just losing some moisture, which would reduce the volume. Okay, there we go. Now I've just got to be really, really careful while I put it down to dry. Just pop it behind me. Check the time. Yep, we've got time to move on to our paper bag. Now, exercise. I think I'm going to start with that first before we get into the paper bag, because I've got to find something. This is one of my boxes of harvested magazines, and there's some larger things in there that aren't categorized, but in here there is a lifestyle packet. So technology, office machinery, animals, finance, lifestyle. And then there's plants, food, symbols, graphics, people. I think that's about it for categories in this box. So let's have a look at the lifestyle, because I think that's the most likely place I will find an image. So there's a bicycle, which could be attributed to exercise. I'm going to end up with a mess if I don't just pop these back, so we're just going to flick through them, pop them back. Some of these are misfiled, like that dandelion should be in plants. Cleaning, weed eating, car crash, that could be under transportation. Yeah, so sometimes things get a bit kind of out of order, shall we say. Shower head, oven mitt, no, firewood, syringe, pillows, dishwasher, book. Come on, I'm sure there must be exercise in here somewhere. If we have to go with the bike though, so be it. That's related to exercise. I was just hoping for something that was a bit more active, you know, like showed that it was active. There's some words that probably should go in my words file, but I'm not gonna worry. Sewing. Not gonna worry about refiling right now. They'll probably still be there next time I go through these looking for something. You just know it. It's kind of a diet image, a tape measure, an apple, and some. Well, actually, there's some dumbbells in the back. That's exercise. The tramping pack could be exercise, but it's not drawing me, so I'm going to go that direction. Football, that's another option. tramping boots, maybe. So you're getting a bit of a look on what I sort of keep and how I organise it, loosely organise it. Crutches, because I've used those a bit in my life. Sailboat. Sailboat could be exercise as well, I guess, but more leisure. I would put that as leisure. Okay, getting through this pile. Oh, there's a tramping boots and a backpack. That is, yeah, that's how I'm going. I'm going that way because that's really appealing to me. So we're going to stop looking now. Aren't you pleased? Don't have to go through the rest of this packet. This is a funny image. It's a washing machine that's not happy. Right. Okay, I think this should work on my little lolly bags. It's got a bit of a tear in it. Oh well, we're going grungy. So with these prompts, the exercise one is specifically for the alternate prompt, but you also include these original 2 prompts in this one as well. So I'm going to remove the children card out the way because we've done that one, and I'm going to put these cards together because that might sort of make more sense. So let's just give this a quick do I want to cut it? We're going grungy. I think I'm going to tear. I was going to cut, but I think tearing would be more in line with the prompts. So just going to fussy tear around it. Can't get the scrap in my rubbish bin because I've covered it with my stamps, my alphabet stamps. I do make life hard for myself, don't I? It's the downside of having a very small crafting area. I've got nowhere really to put things, so I just layer them up, and then it's like, oh, I can't use my glue pages. Oh, I can't get to my rubbish bin. Oh, I can't get to that because I put something else on top of it. Yep, that's my life. It's of my own making. Right, I think that's a really cool image. So that's our exercise. Okay, scrapbook paper. We're back to needing scrapbook paper. I'm wondering about going with not from scraps this time. So I've got this pad here. I don't know if anything's going to lend itself to grungy, but we can make it grungy. Oh, maybe that one. We can make it grungy, can't we? Well, how about we use the leaves? Because, you know, you're hiking. You're going to be seeing some nature, hopefully. And I've got 3 of these sheets, so let's use one, or part of one anyway. So kind of building my story, if you like, you know, out in nature. Oh, I think that's going to be really cool. And I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm going to try and kind of tear, and I'm going to create the white edge. I want the white edge on my piece that I'm using so I can ink it up and really get some good colour on that white edge. Okay, that's a bit wide, but that's okay. Oh, there's like a dirty mark there. Well, and here it's a round one there. It's almost like fingerprints or something, but they're brand new, so I don't know. It's okay. We're going grunge. It will be fine. Now, envisage that this will be glued onto a page, so I'm not going to worry about the back at all. Oh, look, there's more marks. You probably can't see them in the camera. It's almost like something's actually been splattered on it. Who knows, my friends? Who knows? I certainly don't. Right, so, yes, I'm going vintage photo first. So See how that white edge just really inks up beautifully? Where if the paper would as well, but just that white edge gives you a real good opportunity to add some colour, particularly when you're going grungy. And it's torn, it's also very thin, so it gives a different texture that way as well. Okay, give that some, and I think I'll do the rest once I've got it on the paper bag. Now, see, this is my issue. Can you see that? My glue page has stamps all over it. Can I remove them without losing any? Just, oops. No. Answer would be no, but now I've got a problem because what was I just saying about making life difficult for myself? It's true, my friends. It is so, so true. Come on. I don't want them to ping off all over the place. Right, we did it. Very annoying that was, but we got there with your help. Oops, gouged out my glue stick. Still doing that, my goodness. Having a bad run with the old gouging. I think I'm just not being careful enough. Sorry, bit of a voice change there. It's always interesting, isn't it? Now I'm wondering what to do with this tear up the top. As we're going grungy, I'm not worried that it's torn so much, like it's torn, that's okay, but how to deal with it? Do I want to emphasize it? Do I want to glue it or put something over it so it doesn't compromise the use of this? Because I don't want it to stop us being able to use the paper bag for a pocket. So how do I want to treat that? Because I envisage that we'll use it as a double pocket, like although we could use it as a side pocket. Okay, this one's going to be a side pocket as well as the paper bag pocket. So we can do something fun up the top there with that. You know, it's very white, and white is not grungy. Not in my language anyway. So we need to give this some colour. And let's go in and give it even more colour. Hit that white. Yep, that's looking really cool. Sorry about slamming my brush down there. Just again, just hitting it in spots, not all the way around, and allowing it to kind of hit the front as well. So it's not just the edge, because we're getting some of that grunge in. Do I want to hit it with some water? Thing is, it has to dry. If I hit it with water, then it's, you know, it's going to take time to dry, and I don't know if I really want to be bothered with drying time. And some up on the top edge there. Yep, I think that's fine. We're going to leave it at that. I'm not going to attempt water. Let's ink around this actually. Now, whoops. Not going to get much ink off the lid, am I? I've kept it very simple. I've just used one piece of scrapbook paper and we've got our image. So I'm thinking, do I want to add any other layers, additions, details? Because you don't have to stick to only the prompts. Like, you can add things that aren't part of the prompt as long as the prompts are included. But even then, like, if you just haven't got scrapbook paper, if you've never seen scrapbook, never owned it, don't have any, substitute something that looks like scrapbook paper, a part of a magazine, like a background image of a pattern of wallpaper on an image of an interior, or maybe even wallpaper, like an actual bit of wallpaper if you have wallpaper. So don't think, oh, I can't do that because I don't have XYZ. Just get creative. You're a creative person. I trust you. Okay. Feel like it does need something else. And book page. I haven't used book page today, apart from the image on my card. Oh, this has got a nice colour to it, and it's also double printed, like it's got a shadow. So that's kind of grungy as well, because it's not clear text. It's very fragile paper, so I'm not sure whether I will use it for stamping, but I'm going to tear it off as if I am. Very low quality old paper, so it's quite fragile, very prone to cracking and tearing, but that's such a beautiful colour. Oh, doesn't line up on the other side. That's all right. This is my French book that's never been written because all the pages were not cut open, and it was impossible. No one would ever be able to read it the way I bought it at a secondhand shop, which was so fun. Okay, let's just try this. I'll do it sideways. Sideways could be quite fun as well. I actually like it sideways. It gives it a whole different kind of feeling. It also means I'm using the side of the paper that doesn't actually have that shadowed text, but never mind, it's okay. And just for some reason, putting it sideways, just like, boom, I really like that. Change out my glue page, because this, if it sticks to my glue page, it will tear and, you know, won't be pretty. It's grungy, it wouldn't matter, I guess, but I want to control my grunge. Oops. Oh, now I've got a sticky desk. Oh, that's kind of almost as bad as sticky fingers. Yucky. Really need a new wet wipe out. So this could go in a nature journal, it could go in a guy's journal, it could go in an autumn journal or a summer journal even, because, you know, summer tramping. Really could go in any journal, except maybe like a Victorian ladies journal. Probably not that, but lots of options on where it could go. Okay, that is my paper bag, my friends. Simple, easy, fun. Okay, so we're just going to pop our children card back in the middle there. So we've got our paper bag, we've got exercise, grungy, and scrapbook paper. And hopefully this card is dry. Oh, I've got such grubby fingers. My apologies for that. Actually, just see that I want to glue down this little crease here so we don't get that white popping out. Yeah, there we go. Oops. Oh, my fingers are so sticky, it's just undoing it, and then a bit in the back. There we go. Done. And our junior trader here, our faux collector's card with grungy scrapbook paper and its children, and then I've got my combining elements to make them a collector's card, which is the words, the plain paper, yellow today, and the gold border. Yes, that's everything. Yay, I got both things done, and in good time too. Okay guys, thanks for joining me. Give it a go if you've never given it a go. It's just get those creative juices flowing, set your week up for a beautiful creative week, and just have some fun with it, guys. Just have fun. Don't get too serious about, oh, I can't meet that prompt, or that prompt doesn't, challenge yourself. If you don't like a prompt, challenge yourself to try it and see what you can come up with. It's just fun. Well, I think it's fun. I will see you again tomorrow. Take care, my friends. Bye for now.